The story of Joseph, from the pit to the palace. Joseph was a young man full of dreams. His father, Jacob, loved him more than all his brothers and gave him a beautiful coat of many colors. But this made his brothers very jealous. One day, Joseph had a dream that would change everything. Joseph told his brothers about his dream. He said, "We were binding grain in the field when suddenly my bundle stood tall and yours bowed down to mine." His brothers gritted their teeth. "Does he really think we will bow to him?" they whispered to one another. Joseph had another dream, even greater than the first. This time the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before me. But instead of being amazed, his family became angrier. His brothers had had enough. One day, Joseph's father sent him to check on his brothers. As he approached, his brothers saw him in the distance. "Here comes the dreamer," they sneered. Their jealousy had turned into something worse, hatred. They plotted to get rid of him. They grabbed Joseph, tore off his robe, and threw him into a deep pit. "Let's leave him here," they laughed. But just then they saw a caravan of merchants heading to Egypt. Instead of leaving him in the pit, the brothers sold Joseph for 20 silver coins. As the merchants took him away, Joseph's world had changed forever. He was now a slave, taken far from home. Even as a slave in Egypt, Joseph worked hard. God was with him, and everything he did was successful. His master, Potiphar, put him in charge of everything in his house. But one day, Joseph was falsely accused and thrown into prison. Even there, God was with him. One night, 2 of Pharaoh's servants, the cupbearer and the baker, had strange dreams, and they didn't know what they meant. Joseph, with wisdom from God, told them the meaning of their dreams. The cupbearer's dream meant that he would be restored to his job, but the baker's dream meant he would not survive. And everything happened exactly as Joseph said. Joseph asked the cupbearer to remember him when he returned to Pharaoh's court, but he forgot. 2 years later, Pharaoh had a terrible dream that no one could understand. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembered Joseph. With God's wisdom, Joseph explained the dream. 7 years of plenty would be followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh was amazed. Pharaoh put Joseph in charge of all Egypt. The young boy who was once a slave was now second in command to the most powerful king in the world. Years later, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt for food, bowing before him, just as he had dreamed. But instead of revenge, Joseph forgave them, saying, "What you meant for evil, God meant for good."